Hello everybody. For those who don't know me, I am Shamim Anwer. We'll be talking about the preparation of geography optional and the online program we are going to have with respect to geography optional, especially for those who cannot attend the classroom programs. There are many students who are deprived of the quality lectures in geography optional, especially in the far rural areas and some of the semi-urban and small centers. We are providing them the online services for the entire classroom programs because that will be replicated only. Nothing is cut out. There is no editing in that. The students who are asking questions are same and that is put into the programs. That's not live, but it is just like live. The way whatever we are interacting, apart from lectures, the both way interactions are given in this program. Hopefully this will be very beneficial to you. But before you actually start geography optional, there are some mysteries about geography optional I would like to clarify. First thing is that geography is vast, and there's a common trend being spread among the students that geography has a very lengthy syllabus. Now the physical length of syllabus of any subject doesn't matter. To start with, a very good example is in general studies you have one line that is physical geography of the world. Look at how small this syllabus is. But if you look at the physical geography of the world, that has 5 different books: geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, biogeography, environmental geography. All 5 are clubbed in one single sentence. So first thing first, that the length of the syllabus doesn't matter for many different reasons. It matters only to those who do not understand the chemistry of the subject. Though the syllabus is very elaborated in geography, it can easily be integrated to reduce at a very small level. If you look at the entire geomorphology syllabus, which has at least 20 topics, can be clubbed in just 2 topics. Right, plate tectonic theory and cycle of erosion. If you have learned plate tectonic theory, you can easily understand the continental drift theory, the sea floor spreading, the internal structure of the earth, the earthquake, volcanism, landforms, endogenetic and exogenetic forces. So there are 7-8 topics which are nothing but offshoots of plate tectonic theory. Similarly, when you know cycle of erosion. Now what is cycle of erosion? Cycle of erosion is the complete cycle in which it's a time period span in which a very flat land rise above the surface and then brought down to reduce at a surface at a level that's called peneplain. So this during its entire cycle of erosion there will be slope evolution, because the slope from the maybe very flat to very steep and then again becoming very flat will be changing, and how those slopes are being changed over the period of time is a very long period phenomena. Hence the mysteries regarding that has been tried to be explained by various geographers. That's why we have slope evolution theories. Some says that there will be parallel retreat, some says reclination, and some may have a different point of view. So cycle of erosion, slope evolution, denudation chronology, channel morphology, because ultimately it is the river which has to play a very important role as an erosional agent. So each and every topic, if you see, interwoven in one single topic. So that topic is very elaborative, number one. That's why it appears vast. Second thing is that if you learn how to integrate, because it is very scientific in nature, where one part is very much related with the other, and if collectively seen, there are not much topic left. For example, if you have learned the landforms, right, in the geomorphology is the scientific study of the landforms. Now the landforms gives you idea about slope, the landforms give you idea about the resources, the landforms give you about the water resources, availability, mineral resources, even the possibility of rainfall, right? The types of agriculture possibility going to be practiced, the types of disaster an area might be experiencing, right? So several topics. If you understand the resource distribution, let's say for example, why Chota Nagpur Plateau, Bastar Plateau and Karnataka Plateau are the three richest mineral zones of our country. They have one thing similar in common. Similar is the suffix of that is plateau. So plateau, now you need to learn that plateau are basically of three types, and one such type is the Karnataka Plateau, the Bastar Plateau and Chota Nagpur Plateau. So the moment a plateau of that nature, that means very old plateaus, will always possess heavy metallic minerals. Now why it is so is a long discussion which we don't have enough time to discuss about it, but all those older plateaus on the surface of the earth will be rich in metallic minerals. All those plain area will be rich in sedimentary rocks. The mountainous region will be more metamorphosed and combination of sedimentary rocks. So if you look at that aspect, if you understand that landform is related with resources, and you know that a particular type of landform will be related with heavy metallic minerals, you can easily understand the location of industries. Right. So if you have learned how to integrate topics, the topics becomes very minimal. If you look at the agriculture, if you know the temperature, rainfall pattern together with the geomorphology of area, you can easily talk about the agriculture and the types of land, types of crops practiced in a particular region. You have tropical crops, you have temperate crops, obviously primarily differentiated on the basis of the temperature availability. Then within that tropical crops, the variation would be associated with the rainfall. For example, a high rainfall area will be dominated by four crops: jute and rice in the plain area, tea and coffee in the hilly regions in the tropical areas. Right. So you understand that by integrating things. Similarly, if you see that if you have learned and understood properly the temperature zones on the surface of the earth, any area, suppose whatever temperature zones we have learned, you have idea about isotherms, right? Now, a temperature zones will be either very high temperature, moderate temperature or very low temperature. So that will give you an idea with the supplement of a bit of fundamentals of science, the pressure zones. Right. When you learn the pressure zones, it can directly give you idea about the possibility of winds blowing in that area. We know that all the high pressure areas are the areas where the wind are generated and towards the low pressure areas. And the wind move from high to low pressure area. So once you have understood the high pressure zones, you can easily understand the wind belts. When you have understood wind belts, it is nothing but atmospheric circulation together with the upper air circulation. Right. Now, if you have understood winds and pressure zones together with temperature, you can easily correlate with the amount of possibility of rainfall. Now, you may not have noticed one thing, that all the low pressure areas are areas of high rainfall. Whether it is equatorial low pressure belt or whether it is subpolar low pressure belt. These two are the highest rainfall receiving regions of the world. Now, you can easily correlate pressure belts with that of rainfall possibility. Similarly, when the wind is carrying moisture, onshore winds will always have high rainfall, on offshore winds will always have low rainfall, and maybe producing deserts in tropical areas. That's how you explain the presence of coastal deserts along the offshore zone of trade winds. So if you integrate that, you can easily understand the rainfall distribution on the surface of the earth. Now a bit of minor information, that's, let's say, types of rainfall. So types of rainfall is simply associated with the rise of air, because with the rising air the temperature drops. With the dropping temperature, relative humidity increases. And with the increasing relative humidity, the possibility of cloud formation will be there, otherwise there won't. That's why in the high pressure zones where the air is subsiding or coming down, because of adiabatic change in temperature, because of increase in temperature, the relative humidity will decrease and it will not be going beyond 100%, whatever amount of moisture it contains. So we can directly correlate it, rainfall distribution. Look at how integrated it is, and almost the entire syllabus of the climatology is finished. Right? So when you integrate these aspects, the syllabus becomes very small. If you don't know and keep on studying each and every topic separately and trying to learn each and every topic separately, and if you don't integrate those topics, it really becomes very lengthy. Now, if you have understood a bit of geomorphology, you have finished rainfall distribution, temperature zones, environmental geography becomes a cakewalk. Why the equatorial rainforest is the richest biodiversity on the surface of the earth? For a simple reason that it has high temperature, high humidity and high rainfall. That's it. But there will be some specific areas where, despite being located in the equatorial region, the rainfall may not be high, hence the biodiversity will not be very rich. That you need to understand. If the equatorial region is primarily produced because of very high temperature, so whenever a factor modifies that temperature, that area will not be having the typical equatorial climate, and hence the typical equatorial product in the form of forest distribution. Right? Look at the effect of temperature and rainfall in the type of forest. You have broad-leaved forest in the high temperature zone. We have coniferous forest in the low temperature zone. Now, in the low temperature zone, coniferous, you all might be knowing that shape is attained to avoid the pressure of the snowfall. You can simply correlate with your lifestyle. During winter season, you try to reduce the volume of your body by shrinking the parts, coming as close as possible. But during summer season, you try to spread it as far as possible. So broad-leaved tropical region or higher temperature zones, coniferous, cone-shaped leaved in the low temperature zone. Wherever these are, in the marginal part will be mixed forest. So that's how you can easily correlate. For example, let's say suppose the salinity of the ocean water directly related with temperature, rainfall. So once you have learned temperature zone rainfall distribution, is going to easily correlate with the salinity of ocean water. Once you have learned the wind, you can easily understand the ocean currents. All the cold currents will always be associated with offshore winds. So if you have learned that whether trade wind is offshore along the western coast, whether westerlies is offshore along the eastern coast of the continent, there you can blindly say that this area must be having a cold ocean current. And the moment you have cold ocean current, it flows in a particular direction of the coastal area, that will have its impact over the temperature and hence rainfall, pressure and biotic community of the ocean types. So even oceanography, if you look at, if you have understood plate tectonic theory, half of the topography or the bottom topography of the oceans can easily be understood. So it is very much integrated and woven. Even biogeography, let's say suppose the soils, one of the driest topic in geography, you can easily correlate with that. The very good example is red soil. And you all must be knowing that red soil is red basically because of the presence of iron oxides. Now, iron is a heavy metallic minerals. So wherever iron is found, the possibility of presence of iron is there, you will have red soil. And the iron is present. Iron is a heavy metallic mineral and it is present in the older plateau areas. So all the older plateau will be having red soils. So that is how we can integrate and correlate different topics, and actually the learning will not only be a fun, but the physical length of the syllabus would not matter at all. Right? So this is how, once you have this learning capacity, you are writing an answer that will be reflected and which will be purely your creativity to the examiner. It will appear as if you have not only understood the content but also you know how to present it. That's the prime requirement of a would-be IAS officer. So whenever we deal topics in our discussions, we try to bring those topics into our classroom program, that how this topic is interrelated with different topics, other topics, and what are the possible introduction you can have in a particular topic together with the nature of the questions. Thank you and take care.